Hello, I'm back for another stream, and today we'll be doing some stormworks and trying to get the train I've worked on for the last couple of weeks to work as a 3-part multiple unit train, basically. Just 3 parts, 2 jet engines, trying to get everything working maybe with a centralized logic network, just make it permanently locked together. We will see what it does. And have some other news and all that stuff, you know? Let's jump into it and get going. Because I'm actually getting decently prepared. Hello. I was actually decently prepared this time. But I might be tired. And it has a good reason. I've slept for 3 hours last night. Usually I sleep a bit more than that, but this time I was too worried about my rabbit because he looked kinda... He wasn't really doing all that well. He was just sketchy, not really doing good. And then it was just kind of looking like it was blocked and just not doing well at all. So we made an appointment at the vet, which was only this morning, which meant he spent the entire night in pain, which I still don't like. But yeah, and we went there and we found out he basically had kidney stones. A pretty big one. I even took it with me. Like, I can just look at it, but it's basically just... Hold on. This may be weird to people, but this is just me seeing if I can get the diameter of the thing. Christ. It's an entire centimeter in diameter. A centimeter ball, basically, that is just inside the bun. Rabbit just had that inside him for God knows how long. And it was hurting him quite a lot. So now he's on antibiotics and all that stuff, trying... It will fix him. Like, he won't die, which I thought he would. Not knowing what's wrong with him, and he just... Yeah. That's the reason why I slept so little. But it was just overall... He has antibiotics, he has medicine. He will manage. He has managed tougher battles, so I'm sure he'll work this out as well. He's a strong boy, he can manage. He's still not entirely up and running, but that might take a while for it to fully... till he's fully functional again. And until that, he'll just get lots of pets, lots of cuddles. You know, the thing you'd expect. But yeah, that's the reason why I am tired today. Because apparently sleep was not on the menu. Now, if I'm going to make this one rigid structure anyway, why not just remove the doors? Entirely. Just no interior anymore. These can be the same. It is just that the center will be entirely different. Awesome. Ah, lovely. I'm just going to turn this part into the part where the door exists. Not sure how I'm going to do that just yet, but this one doesn't need a linear speed sensor. But apart from, like, I'm the person that just worries a lot. Like, a rabbit just had me worried for basically the entire evening and night and the morning as well. If I spawn this in, I mean, of course, this is not connected at all, and this can just move on its own. Wait, that means that I need cables. Yay. And I'm currently mostly glad that he's back up and running. Still not fully himself. Still a bit weak, and I mean, he has painkillers. He's just a stoned little guy at the moment. And his antibiotics and painkillers and all that stuff. If we need to feed him for a week. I don't know how many of you have experience with feeding rabbits, stuff like that, but If you have any experience with that, you know how painful it can get. Trying to get those things to... Trying to force a rabbit some medicine. It'll just refuse to do anything. Which surprises me, but... Well, it doesn't surprise me at all, but it just... The sheer amount of resistance one bun can give is substantial. I'm looking at my stream at the same time, and it is quite delayed. And Twitch says it's unstable, but it doesn't seem to be... Like, that's the thing. Ever since I started recording my streams to put up on YouTube, because why not? Oh, like Twitch says it's unstable, but OBS just says, oh yeah, your bitrate is fine. Maybe it fluctuates a bit, but it's still perfectly fine. These are full blocks, which they shouldn't be. There are some systems that can stay local to the train car. Wait, this one doesn't need a power unit at all. This can just be dead weight. Which means I can theoretically just put a massive fuel tank in there. So this multiple unit guy has actual, you know, proper power production. Proper fuel storage and all that stuff that is necessary to propel yourself forward. We'll keep a battery in there, but I'll see what it does for first one. Move quite a bunch. I can't remove those. I can remove these. And that is the air vent. That vents out all the pressure. There we go. And this would just have a massive fuel tank, you know? There we go. Solid fuel tank now. And I guess I don't need to refuel this. If you have 2 points, you can refuel already. And because air pressure can always escape, what I can simply do... But I don't need this button thing at all. Let's see, where am I gonna put the logic? I think I'm gonna put the logic somewhere. Is it me or are the wheels arranged differently? Yes, they are. Here you have 2 blocks worth of play. Here you have 3 extra blocks. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Boom. Done. Then I can simply make space here for all the logic that will happen in here. So here will be the logic that will transfer over to these. These two, we'll connect these two together. And then it will be fine. Let's actually first grab hose. Anchors. Wait, let's first actually... This is the connected side. So... that is in there, and then I need to move that one... this entire thing backwards. Do I have everything? By the looks of it, yes. Backwards 1 block. Did it here? Yep, that is the way I did it here. Paste. Merge. There we go. Paint this top, then grab this color. Difficult is it to paint this. There we go. And of course this one and this one requires paint. Right, so theoretically they should be interconnected. Ooh, we're starting to get a warning about a large number of lights. Is that signal set? Not the way I want it to be. I forgot how loud and annoying this thing was. Does look cool though. Oh, wait, I have no buttons on the doors, I just have the door button. Let's actually control the time of day. Let's see how well it does on this kind of switch. It doesn't really do a lot now. Is it getting that close? What if I bump up the speed a bit more? As long as it doesn't collide, it does look really good. Really good. Now let's see how how it is to travel from. Even if you run, it's just you just walk through your train peacefully and just. How is my game running? 72, 85. Decent FPS. Nice. As you know, FPS is a thing. Haven't collided yet with anything. Nice cockpit lights. I can see this part quite well. Just in between and fall off. Not even. Of course, I'm willing to bet if you actively chose to walk off there, you could. Nobody's stopping you from walking off there, but I think putting a couple of just normal sliding doors should be fine. Although I am significantly slower. But theoretically, if I make one single command unit basically for this train, and then combine that and just put that somewhere in this train so that everything talks to each other, then it doesn't matter how many parts you put in between. Well, kinda, but just for the amount of inputs. Because you have this fuel tank here. You have this fuel tank here, but also this one here. Which I'm gonna fill with fuel for 1 or 2 jet engines to use. Hello, cow. I take a screenshot of this, it just looks good. Also still been battling with a cold basically, so yeah. The last few weeks have been fun. But oh well. So far my headphones have charged, they're almost full. Now I can charge my phone, which is almost dead as well. Who sent me a WhatsApp message? I do have to react to this one. Standard 3D printed because it's a 3D printer. Once you have it, you're gonna use it quite a lot. Yeah, it is actually turned on currently, trying to print out a drawer so I can actually... Because if just... You know, on your desk you have this random assortment of shit. Like things... Like pens and all that stuff, staples... Random things that clutter your desk, which... Well, still needing to be there, or still just making everything messy. Right, this corner is a bit tight. It is getting close, but not too close. I like how it gives me the warning for lights. Can make this corner without binding up on itself. It actually can. Yeah, I really need to get that. If I want to keep my speeds up that I had with the single unit, I will need to have both jet engines powered at the same time. Is the barrier. Slam on the brakes. Wait, I have an idea. Reverse. I'm gonna try and do something sketchy. So I can, if I put this in reverse, put the other in forward. What will it do if I just say, alright, run this at like 0.4? Wait, are we actually... Hold on. Why are we struggling in this corner all of a sudden? Let me quickly run before I get... I need to first get that wheel slip there in here under control. Need to get a clever system to counteract massive amounts of wheel slip. Now they complement each other, which should increase top speed. Overall running. Wait, what if I... Alright, so they can work together. Also, a large amount of lights my ass. Alright, let's continue on this middle bit. This compartment doesn't even need that wall. I just like the way this looks. And take a drink. Can't tell I'm not really that motivated at all. I mean, I'm still gonna do this just because I can, but the energy is just low. I've had an entire school day as well. Hello. Here, a battery. Loaded ducking supremacy. Do I add a breaker? I know cheese can help, but I'm currently not really in the mood for cheese. Which may sound weird because as a Dutch person, I quite like my cheese. I know it's a bit cheesy, but that's just a quote. That's just a quote. Cheese is the solution to everything. Well, that might just be because my voice is just a bit of a cold, which makes my voice sound a lot more nasal than usual. But oh well. Let's do some experimenting, yay. Will this open? Nice. Just give your dog a little snack, you know? Just the usual. Uranium 238. Thinking of how this is going to open. How am I going to make this open properly? Wait. Wait a minute. Thanks for the follow. It is basically just, I hear a noise, I react. Alright, min value -1. You might want to, I might want to connect it up, you know, with power and a number. Yeah, just make it open downwards. You can actually, yeah, just make it open downwards. That is the option here. Because what I'm going to put in here are the circuit breakers. Let's actually just connect to that one and delete. Oh wait, symmetry mode, symmetry mode. Yep. Let's just reduce the amount of lights here. There you go. Like this one is not really that finished, but almost finished. But this multiple unit will just be... You'll only be able to spawn it in here, really. Or at least at the bigger train docks, because if you go to something like Terminal Komodo or Terminal Spycakes, yeah, you're not really getting somewhere. You might fit one of them in, but not the combination. And considering I'm not making them separately, but as one big long boy. Let's work on getting the hose anchors to work. The port goes there. a fluid hose anchor on this side and then on the other side as well. This will make sure there's a fuel connection in between. Come on. There we go. Alright, let's see. Where can I put this fluid spawner? I guess I can put a fluid spawner here. And just say, do jet fuel. New oil spill. Tell me, Stormworks. How is there a massive oil spill underneath the map? Oh. I know why. This tank is not sealed. But where is it not sealed? Oh. Well, gee, I wonder where it's not sealed. Yeah, there we go. I still have to get to here, which means you just have one big fuel reservoir for things. Well, and that could be a problem, of course. Nothing can ever go smoothly, can it now? I've poked 2 holes in here. No, I haven't. There you go. Now I've poked 2 holes. Hose anchor. Next to another hose anchor. Pipe. Yes, you don't know how many times I've accidentally typed in Pope. As in, yes, I want an angled pope or a T-pope. Like, ah yes, that's the specific thing I requested. From a game that's basically about engineering. Alright, now everything's connected. But this doesn't have a vent, which it honestly doesn't need because all the pressure will probably push its way out again via both the engines. And of course, actually I have the flap here for reasons. I wonder how this derails. You know, as a multiple unit, I should be able to say I want this one to do 20 as well. We are pushing through our brakes here. The brakes are turned on. How is that thing still wheel slipping? And how have I not derailed? Ouch. Doors are broken. Ow. My ears. Yes, you can get in between and you can get out. Oh, I know why it's mad. I know why it was mad. You had one engine pushing the other engine into the buffer, basically. Still have to find a way to connect those. And then allow sleeve control, so basically you can only do one at a time instead of linking both. Well, you could theoretically link both controls together. So that, hey, I put one up, then the other one also goes up. Or hey, I put this input in here, then oh, the other one gets this input as well. Compact switch box can already go into the bottom here. Can I actually reach the button. I can't reach the button. Let's see. Without reaching the button, toggle button, where can I? Wait, I can just put it in the same spot. Name it electrical panel. Look at my performance warning. Yay, now we can access all the circuit breakers and all that stuff. Then once we're done with that, we just press the button. Nobody sees anything. Electrical cable anchor, yay! Because that is what I wanted to put in here. How much does it weigh? There's a lot. That's a lot of mass. Okay, now simply have the. Come on, get onto the. Get the red and blue. Give the blue and red. And here, if we look underneath, instrument panel, the mayonnaise panel. I don't think it'll charge the battery anymore. Just 12 RPS. $15 actually does, right? When does this engine actually explode? And we're stuck again. Alright, well, let's do this test here then. 150 RPS. The speed. I think even a slight... I think I might be able to get out of here by doing this. Just... What? What? Why are we shutting down? Why did we shut down? I guess I broke the engine. Surprising. Not quite surprising, I guess. Oh well. Alright, let's get cracking on these doors then, shall we? After a sip of water. Because water. Water from a bottle that's almost 1 year old already. TwitchCon bottle. Actually, good bottles. I guess if I do this... Ah. Track. Let's actually get some track going in here. The track base there. Then a basic pivots, which go here and here. And everything is connected on this one. They turn out, pushes forward. And then it all ends up bumping in here. Which means you might want to make a cutout and do this. So then I can do this, grab window, 2x3. This will just look weird. Unless I make some sort of sign out of this, but... One gets a plus, rotates it back one, which means this one needs to be inverted. Part 1 will be that, part 2 will be that, power will be provided by the battery. Directly. What? 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 No. We're not supposed to work like that. I guess part 1 should have a constant of 0 on the off value. Messing with logic is here. Yay. Yeah, because I have an easy door to get into. Ah. I see some trouble. I need to connect it to that. Decently quick to be functional, I guess. Let's see, part 1 is going to be these, part 2 is that, part 1 then needs to have a 0. Then I just have to copy that design over. Door. Move that. That'll all be controlled by the button that is on both ends of the train as well as on the other end of the thing. I have to sneeze. There we go. You're basically going to grab all this around the door. Which we do have, and then we extend it outward. On my nose as well. I was just looking at my floor and I was thinking, man, the floor's clean. How did I manage that? What happened here? You have this, you have 3, then you have 1, then you have 1, then you have 4. Here you have 1, then you have 1, then you have 4. They have an extra space in between here. And then it starts. Let's first actually paste it right here. Because that would mean that from this point... Oh wait, I have to count windows, don't I? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 windows. Well, thank you for an equal amount of windows, which doesn't help at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I guess after 5 windows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 windows. Going on to the other side to gather the windows. There we go. That is the doors fixed. Wait, and could I... You can have multiple things. This point. So... Oh yeah. Basically want another toggle button in here. Not on both sides. No. Let's put on... Come on. Call this doors. Compact switch boxes. I need 4 of them, which means symmetry mode. Which then means put 2 there and 2 there. No, I don't need switch boxes at all. No, I need door. It's called a boxcar door because I made it for a boxcar, but it works the same. You have part 1, which is not the linear track base of the pivots. Part 2, which is the linear track base. Part 3 is the button. Well, at least the input is the button. This is gonna end up a mess of logic and composite signals flying everywhere. Go to more local networks. Slight feeling I should connect this electrical breaker, name it doors without caps. Constant on. And then get some strain off the battery. So it's just the buttons, the connectors. The things that you need to be able to access with a... Why is it like that? Thought it would be turned... Oh, I know the problem. I figured out the problem. It's gonna be annoying to fix, but it's fixable. It's just a matter of updating all of these. Boom, boom. There we go. There, now all doors should remain flush, basically. Still draining the battery, That's the electrical panel. We don't want that. We want to press the door button, which magically opens up all doors and allows people to go in and out. Door. I should paint the rest. I should paint it though. This at least. So what am I gonna put here? Fine. Okay. First we'll make it back to white. How would this look? Which one would look better? The one with... Grab the white paint again, put that there. Yeah, I feel like this just looks that bit better. What should I put on here though? That is my next question. Should I put color or what? I could put a sign up. If I want to go real fancy, I would put a destination sign on there. You can say, oh, I'm going to this destination. But don't feel like I don't have the skill set for that just yet. Skills will eventually come, but for now it's going to be skill issues galore, basically. It's also nice that I'm doing guesswork. Like, oh, you wanted to know where you're painting? Well, good luck. Because you're sure as hell ain't seeing where you're painting. Ah, I see more paint that needs to be painted. Alright, that has the doors introduced to the carriage. All nice and easy. I'm gonna do a quick visit to somewhere, so I'm going to be right back. I am back again. Hello. There we go. Want to visit to the toilet later? And also a checkup on a 3D print that's currently going on. That will take 13 hours. Longest sprint yet. Alright, let's see. What do you want to do? Like, I want to do interior, but I also want to do controls. Guess I can get a composite signal. If I do that, and then I do... Or do I even have to do that? Because technically... Hold on, let me check something. You have a spotlight here. And a push button here. Now connect those up. And let's power it with the center battery, doesn't matter. Yeah, you see, it doesn't matter. You don't have to work with composite signals. Well... Because as for the... Let me guess, it says composite not connected. Yeah, well, it obviously is, but... Well, this wiring is all just a mess. What I could do is this goes here. That, but that goes into this signal, which goes into channel 1. These buttons have an external input. I'm thinking I'm gonna do this, but I'm definitely going to have to redo all the logic. I mean, let's start with the thing called the brake. I could turn everything into buttons, but I don't want to turn it into a button. I want to keep it a lever. Which means I'm going to... Because what I can't... No, he's stuck. There we go. What I can't do is... get these up or downs. Technically I can. Right, where is my logic place? Here. Right, in theory, right? Oh wait, I actually need the normal less than blocks, which are way bigger in size. Alright, let's first put it on the roof, I guess. Up, this is, let's say this is A. If A is less than B, then go up. Which in theory should mean that if I put up one of them, the other one follows it up. Is it this one though? If I put the break up to 1.1833333, theoretically it should now say it here as well. 0.2. If then it doesn't allow me to pull it down. Up though, just not down. How do you get two to move at the same time? To the exact same number. I guess you could take an input in. You could take the input in number. Well, two inputs in number basically. These two will be the number, which means the input of both of them. Then you have some logic trickery that goes out, I guess, maybe like... Boom. Let's see, this is the bottom. Yeah, this is the bottom. Plus, then... output. Greater than output. Wait a second, there needs to be one output. All these need to be turned into outputs. That is an... Oh, threshold gate. You have the input number. How you measure the delta then? How would you know if it's actually that? That's what I'm thinking of right now. What is it actually? Wait, you could do it in notches. So that, hey, if... Yeah, you could do it. Yeah, but I'm... Like, you have the delta. It sees like, hey, this number is... this and this number is that. Then what? Like, you have input and input. Those are your two brakes. Two brake levers that are on both ends of the train. But they all do everything. Should probably get a number output on this as well then. The reason why I'm doing this on a microcontroller could be because it would just be way easier. Everything is labeled, you can just shove it in and play. Plug and play, basically. So let's say this is 1 and this is 0. Is there something with a delta? Ah. What does it do? Oh, that way. Well, that's way easier, actually. That means you don't need all these outputs, because it is just a matter of the threshold gate. But you would still, well, you still would need all of these, wouldn't you? Because you basically need to have both interconnected, because otherwise you'd have only a one-way working thing. Which is one moves, the other moves. But if you move the other, the one doesn't move. Which means you need to double it up, basically. So, if this is going to be I saw an image on Reddit today, which was a microcontroller where everything was stacked on top of each other. You could not see what was going on. Like if I do this, do you know what's going on? No. Now you do. Sure, you could do it like this, but I like to keep a little bit of space in between so you can actually see where it's going. Also, we need 2 threshold gates for each side. And I guess I could simply just use an add. No, I don't even need to do that. I don't need this one. There we go. Now, theoretically, if I do this, it should be perfectly fine. Like, let's say the delta is between 0.01 and minus 0.0 or that. So let's say you're moving it down. Then what you're gonna do is you're going to say, hey, this is a less than. Same with this one. Minus 0.0, of course. But if this one is between 0 and 0.01, I have no idea if this is gonna work at all. Multiple lever action. There we go. Save it. Look it up. Paste it on the roof. Take input from break. Take input from break. Let's then connect I should actually label them better. Let's call this input 1 and this input 2. Input 1 goes to less than output 2. Less than output 2. Yeah, and then greater than output 2. Nope, that needs to be greater than output 1. Which means this needs to be 2. No, this needs to be 1 and this needs to be 2. Yeah. Just those little naming things, because this is 2, so this side is 2, which means it controls, if it's less than, it should go up. So this controls the up. And if it's greater than, so less than, it should go for the up. If it's greater than, it should go forward it. Wait. False. I misconnected some shit. We should have... Awesome. 2 means 2 comes from that side, means 1 goes to this side. And so this has to go to 1, which means 2 coming from that side is... Because it's less than, it needs to go to the up position of that one. Now there should be everything that has 1 connection. But theoretically, this should work. If it doesn't, I'm not surprised. Oh wait, I do have to... And what is happening? It tries to compensate. There shouldn't be a delta at all. Wait, is the other side bad as well? Yeah. What is it currently doing? It is either I have it connected wrong or it just tries to correct itself over and over and over and over again. Well, basically, you have an input. Let's say you go from 0 to 1. That means it measures the delta. Wait, should I make this 1? If it's some... I think I should make this... these numbers a lot higher. It's just going to be a random thing I'm gonna do. Because it has to be in between the threshold of delta, basically. 0.001 and 1. Yeah, now that you're saying it, it sounds incredibly logic that 0.0001 Let's then do this number in here, but put a minus in front of it. It just sounds logic because now it sees a delta of 0. Yeah. It saw a delta of 0 and was like, there's a delta of 0. I'm going to use that. I need to activate because 0 delta. Still doesn't work. Come on. I still have the same issue. It sees change and it just... Or... There should just be a test bed in here. Like, sure, you can make a test bed as a creation, but you should just be able to mimic like an input 1. And then there you can actually see what's happening. And much easier to locate problems. Because right now you're basically just guessing, spawning in, walking to your creation, doing something. Doesn't work. Retry. Just rinse and repeat everywhere, every time. Alright, let's say I go from 0 to 1. It measures the delta. What if I remove like zeros from here? A couple zeros. So it... I guess I can see what's happening. Like this is 0 and this is 0, which is within this threshold. Hold on. That gave me an idea. Is it this specific problem that I thought I had to put a minus in there? Which causes basically nothing because minus 0.001 is still lower than 0. Yeah. See? Turns out the problem is me being stupid. Well, I created a... Let's see, it just... It's not the same, so it changes it, but then it overcorrects. What does it mean for the threshold? Let me add some zeros that are removed back. To determine that if the 0 thing was also... Let's just be smart about this. Basically lazy. Now, why? Yeah, it just... Oh, wait, this... What was that, actually? one was at 0, and I think the other one was at like almost 1. Which means that delta just goes too big, and it overcorrects itself. It overcorrects. If you do like the... Yeah, like here it goes. If I just up... Like this at 0, right? The other one should predictably be at 0. Which it is. If I pull this one all the way up, or maybe... Like, I know there's something wrong with my threshold. Yeah, it's a feedback loop. It basically falls into the category of... I think I need to make my... Because adding... I think my high threshold compared to my low threshold is too accurate. It just starts to get into the loop of, oh, small, tiny change is still happening. I must correct that change. So I will correct it. Oh, but wait, now I've corrected it again. What if I just... If it's between this and this. I don't want to keep creating feedback loops over and over and over again. I want to be able to create functioning stuff. So theoretically... Yeah, there we go. 4.33334. Zero. Alright, now it is to inaccurate, meaning we have to add a 0. It's basically just fine-tuning. Alright, we're back with the loop. Just thinking, what is causing this infinite loop to happen? Right, 1. But only number logic? I mean by... Wait, is it because... I mean, it can't be because it's still connected to this. Hmm. This connection is... all the connections are good. Just looking at my thresholds to find out what's wrong. Because you have a delta of, let's say, 0.5. That 0.5, that's a positive number, which means it's not in the negatives, which means a positive. 0.5. It's within the threshold. It outputs greater than 2. Which means it is greater than. Yeah, one moves... The first one moves the second one, but that means the second one gets the delta as well, which moves the first one. which moves the second one, which moves the first one, which moves the second one, which moves the first one. That is true. But that's... yeah, I know they just basically move each other. Yeah, how do you solve that one? Yeah, you could put the easiest solution would just be put a delay in there. But that would make the system entirely buggered anyway. Because I basically want to have control from both levers. Because what is indeed happening, it is just this delta, like, let's say it goes through greater than, which means, oh, this is bigger than, so I have to go up. Then that puts this delta up. Well, I kind of want to figure it out myself because this is a great learning opportunity. Like, this system is just inherently flawed. Like, if I remove this connection, this would work. Like, you could move one with the other. But this only works one way. And I need it to work both ways. So I basically add the exact same system that works for one, copy it to another. But that causes a loop to happen. Wait a second. Oh, capacitors could work, but that would make the entire thing slower. Because it goes delta by tick. Yeah, but it would just make everything a capacitor would be the solution. It would just make everything slower, but it would work. Yeah, I could delete half the system, but... like, what would be the solution, the easier solution? Yeah. Not that, not this. And which should be here. If I understand it correctly, basically just put an and in between. That requires both to be true, which... How would that work? Maybe not from the first thresholds. What I mean with not from the first thresholds. That's the thing. I'm from, like... Let's say input 1 gets 0.5, which is within this. Allows that. And if you put an AND with... Connect this to this one. Figure out this one will go to this instead of directly. We have to figure out what to add into this one. Which has to be true. It has to output the delta in order to say, hey, I need to go there. This currently would require another signal. To currently requires another signal to be added to it in order to say, alright, increase number because one number increased. Turn my fan on. There we go. Numerical switch box. So what you're saying is there is a... But how would you get from a number output to... from the input to the delta. Basically, the delta would be the on value, I guess, because delta would be on value, which means, I guess, I'm not sure about it, but let's see, 1 in delta. Need to move everything a bit further, so I actually have space to work. So we input 1 in delta, just put this switch box in here. Which would mean that this on value changes. The off value remains 0, which means no change. Basically do this. But you want it at the off. You probably want to put it on the off value, actually. Or would that not allow anything to happen? Does that mean there would need to be a delta? Because let's say this number changes while it's in the off position, which it currently would be. That would mean you have the delta. That would mean that the delta gets it, which changes the number. This for ease of looking. So currently there's nothing extra. Hold on. At the OR of the threshold. What do you mean by OR of the threshold? I guess that's what's currently putting me off at the moment, but this OR of the threshold. Because that immediately makes my mind go through to an OR gate. Yeah, but I know what an OR gate is, but OR of the threshold. I mean, go take the threshold, get an OR gate in between there and here, basically. So it's one or the other. Would I want an XOR gate, actually? Because one or the other, or both. Because if I put both inputs here, so let's say this one has a delta and the other one has a delta. Alright. We're going to the switch box. So put these on here. Yep. And then that on there. If this is basically the trick. I'll need to organize this a bit. I need to separate the systems. Because I don't like the mess that it's currently becoming. This is much easier to look at. And this will go from a threshold to threshold. I guess there's a 2 running in between. Let's save that before the game crashes. Alright, let me try and understand what's happening. What's happening here. This gets an input, that's like 0.5. The delta picks it up, sees, hey, there's 0.5. Outputs one of the OR gates, which means this will turn on, which this turns it off. Because it turns it off, it turns it on, which goes to the on value, which is 0. Delta sees nothing changing, means no output happens, means this should probably work. Only one way to find out. .58. Zero. I just made a beat with this. Wait. It does work. It is more accurate, but it is also more painful. I'm gonna see if any of the zeros worked, and if not, then let's see. Because like this is twitching at 0.75, which should mean that the other one should be twitching at the same level. No, not at all. We're actually not cooperating at all. .75, nice round accurate number. Will it be this? Well, nope. .7. Will it be 0.7 in this one as well? Nope. So that was not it. Let's revert those changes. So what's happening is both are not cooperating properly. This receives one. Let's see, this receives 1. This receives. Well, not particularly double head, but sort of the same principle. Basically a double-ended train that I want to be able to control both the exact same way. Like you go to one end, change the number, on the other end, the number changes as well. That is the entire thing that is supposed to do. Why would I use radio control to just... Wouldn't you end up with just... ending up getting a composite signal over? And if it's because I'm basically unfamiliar with radio controls since to figure that one out. But aren't you basically going to create the same thing I have here? Because all I'm doing is instead of getting a composite input, I'm getting a number input. All I need is to see, hey, there's a different number there. I need to go to that number as well. Wait, isn't that what a PID system is? But it only works one way, then I need to make it both ways. And this will always change, so you're never gonna get a solid output. It is still a shame that you... Because this would, for me, be much easier if I had one extra trick in here, and that would be actually being able to test my channels or test my logic. Like just being able to have like a testing tab up here, which shouldn't be difficult to add. But to just say basically, alright, you have your logic here. Yeah, true, but I haven't done anything with radio ever, and if I just want to learn that, I'm not going to learn that today because I've already been streaming for 2 hours. And I had only 3 hours of sleep today, so... My mind is kind of just mush at this point. It is basically done. Which probably means that I should just... probably do this. Should probably end it here because my mind is just stuck. And I appreciate the input you guys are giving me. Like, it is good to have the community come and help you on projects and give you pointers and what to do, where to go, and all that stuff, but I had 3 hours of sleep today and just a day of school as well. So basically 3 hours of sleep turned into a day of school, turns into streaming, turns into I'm being tired. Or me being tired. Words are difficult, but yeah. And for those who want to know, the reason I've had 3 hours of sleep is because I was too busy worrying about my rabbit that turns out had kidney stones, which we only figured out when we went to the vet today. Well, had the basically wasn't himself after yesterday afternoon, so I spent the entire evening and night just worried. Well, me worrying because he wasn't himself. It was bad. He's on antibiotics and just painkillers, and is basically not allowed to eat just pellets anymore. Only just nature stuff instead of commercial grade and all that stuff. His diet basically needed to change. Which means, and weirdly enough, the vet recommended pineapple, which he doesn't really like. That's gonna be fun tomorrow, giving him medicine. He doesn't like it. So you have to wrap him up in a towel and then give him medicine. Which he doesn't want, so his head will just be doing that. But yeah. That's the reason why I'm tired. More than usual. But yeah, that'll basically be all for today. And yeah, next stream will be on Wednesday. Not sure what it will be yet. And if you guys have any ideas for streams or any other stuff, drop them in chat or in the Discord that you can find with !Discord or on the channel. I used to be, well, that's a bit of a thing that happened yesterday, Wednesday after stream when we did some sim racing. We had somebody come and advertise art, and I understand if you're an artist that basically lives off of commissions, then sure, you want to advertise, but I try and be in a voice channel so I could talk with you guys actually live, but not sure if that's going to continue. So yeah, we'll see how that pans out. Yeah, that'll be all for me. This stream will be turned into a VOD and slapped onto YouTube probably as soon as possible. Yeah, have a very pleasant weekend and half a week. Goodbye.